In a linear economy, everything you need as a resource, you have to dig it up from the earth. Whereas in a circular economy, you use the stuff you already have dug up.
Europe doesn't have its own materials.
It should actually save a lot of costs because you have the materials here. It also helps with strategic autonomy because it means that we don't have to be reliant and dependent on volatility and other people weaponizing materials.
The circular economy is our best take in securing critical raw material resilience within the European Union.
Without a Circular Economy Act, Europe becomes weaker.
We will be able to reduce the emissions to the climate, and we will reduce the energy required. I mean, 50% of energy is contributed to the extraction and production of raw materials. So this is a big one. And this affects the planetary boundaries.
This is also a competitiveness agenda when it comes to innovation.
The Circular Economy Act really can lay the foundation for that strengthening of the European manufacturing base.
We're going to have to get to a point where the circular economy is normalized. The real question is, when is that going to happen, and whether the EU is going to be the first.
But there are certain provisos that we have to fulfill before we can get there. One is protecting our market.
If we're serious about developing the circular economy at scale, so it's no longer a niche activity, and that it's a European strength, then we need to ensure that the standards that we hold for European manufactured materials and products is also applied to materials that are imported into Europe.
And if that's being undermined by this flood of cheap imported products, then investors simply won't believe in it.
I think there are certain barriers that we see why the circular economy is not yet working, one of which is the fragmentation of the single market that we have here in the EU for recycled materials.
One of the key things that the Circular Economy Act can do is really treat this as a single market, enable materials to be moved.
And if the Circular Economy Act can bring confidence, reassurance that there will be a market, a bigger market for circular products, then the entrepreneurs will invest and then things will roll off.
And we have to make sure that we incentivize and make things easier for this transition to happen.
So the regulations should be proportionate and simple enough for SMEs to apply.
And maybe the bigger challenge, if I may, beyond technology is to create that kind of circular business model, value chain. You know, people used to work within their segment of the industry. If you want to be circular, you have to work more together in a kind of a circular value chain.
We need much stronger incentives for the industry of recycling and much stronger incentives for the use of recycled materials into new products.
Of course, one of the key aspects is expanding the need for recycled content. Today we have it in some waste streams and materials like plastics, but this could be expanded further.
At the moment, the underlying conditions, the economic conditions, still favor linear extractive models. So it's cheaper to put a linear product on the market than to resort to either recycled content or going for product as a service as a business model. And that's something that should be addressed through incentives and investment, and the Circular Economy Act can definitely do that.
Circular business models need to be rewarded by the economic system, meaning that you can make a good profit out of it.
Europe is the place on the planet, I think, with the most knowledge around circular economy. So I think this is a giant leap forward to finally put it into place so that people can start to act on it. And I really hope that the Circular Economy Act will lift the lid and make it possible for us actors that really truly believes in this to take action and deliver on our promises.
I'm reassured and positive, because there's a uniformity of desire to make the change across a whole host of industries.
I mean, that's a unique opportunity to have to make Europe more competitive on the international market.
So I'm a very, 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 very big fan of the circular economy here in the EU.